Does everything always have to be perfect, just right? The client proposal, the letter, the email, your home. It gets tiresome, doesn't it? Perfectionism is a symptom. It is definitely a self-sabotaging behavior, but it's pointing to a hidden block to success, which is that underneath perfectionism is this deep fear that you're not enough, and it creates terrible anxiety. Welcome to Success Tapping with Carol. Look, I'm glad you're here. Please feel free to subscribe, like, and share. So everyone talks about perfectionism. You may have been accused of being one. You may see other people in your life who seem to be perfectionists. And it is a behavior, a self-sabotaging behavior that gets in our way, but it's a symptom of what's deeper. And the hidden block underneath it is this feeling of you'll never be enough. You're not enough now. You couldn't possibly be enough. And that someone's going to judge and criticize you if you don't make it perfect. And again, whatever that is at work or at home. So in order to clear this hidden block, we need to keep going to what's underneath it. So we're going to start by tapping on the feeling that you feel if the project isn't perfect, if the email isn't perfect, if the client proposal that you're writing doesn't come out perfectly. So if you could imagine that, what if you pushed send and it wasn't perfect? I want you to see if you can measure the anxiety in your system. Like, Carol, don't be ridiculous. I would never send something that's not perfect. I know, and that's what we need to get to. So see if you can get a number 0 to 10. How stressful is that for you? How upset does that make you? Sending something, giving something, showing someone something that is not yet perfect, because that's the challenge. We've got to get below that, okay? So measure your anxiety. Some of you are going to be at a 10. And it'll feel even more than the word anxious. You'll say that word is not enough. Okay, that's what we need to tap on. Here we go. On the side of the hand as usual, repeat after me. Even though I feel so anxious at the thought of sending something that's not perfect yet, I deeply and profoundly love and accept myself anyway. Even though I feel quite anxious and tense at the thought of sending something that's imperfect, I deeply and completely love and accept who I am now. Eyebrow point, I feel so anxious. Side of the eye, don't ask me to send something that's not perfect yet. Under the eye, it's never perfect enough. It never seems good enough. I feel so anxious at the thought of producing something that's not perfect. Collarbone, I don't want to offer anything that's not perfect yet. Under the arm, I feel so anxious that my work isn't perfect. Top of the head, I feel so anxious, no wonder I go back and forth and around and around. Good, take a breath. Let's do another short round on that. We'll skip this side of the hand and keep working on that anxiety, because I know for some of you it's so high. Eyebrow, the thought of producing something imperfect makes me anxious. Side of the eye, I can't let anyone see my imperfections. Under the eye, it's not perfect yet and I feel anxious. Under the nose, I can't produce anything that's not perfect. Chin point, what will they say? Collarbone, how will I be seen? Under the arm, I feel so anxious about it. Top of the head, please don't make me give someone something that's not perfect. It makes me too anxious. Good, take a breath. Many of you will need to listen to this and watch it again and keep tapping on your anxiety at just the thought of producing something and giving it to someone when it's not perfect. All right? So that's the main feeling that's underneath the perfectionistic behavior. Okay? So now let's go to the belief. The true belief is that I'm not enough. I'm not enough. I'll never be enough. I have to make it, whatever the it is, perfect so that they think I'm enough. And I'm very sorry that you learned that as a kid, but you did, because we don't come out that way. You have to be taught that. So this belief that I'm not enough, it may be hard to measure, but I want you to understand it's the driver. It is the hidden block to success. I'll never be enough. I'm not enough. I can't be enough. It is the driver. So see if you could measure that, 0 to 10. I know it's difficult to measure a limiting belief, but how true does it feel to you? I'm just not enough. I'll never be enough. See if you could measure that. If not, don't worry about it. Put that aside and just tap along with me. All right, side of the hand again. Even though I'm convinced that I'll never be good enough, I deeply and completely accept who I am right now. Even though they taught me that nothing I do and who I am is never going to be good enough. I accept who I am right now and who I was back then. Eyebrow. I'm convinced I'm not good enough. Side. I'm convinced I'll never be good enough. Under. I'm convinced my work will never be good enough. Under the nose. But I understand that it's about me and not my work. Chin point. I'm convinced I'm inadequate. Collarbone. I'm convinced I'm not enough. Under the arm. I think I'll always fall short. Top of the head. I'm just convinced I'm not good enough. No wonder I'm a perfectionist. Good. Take a breath. Let's do one more quick round on that again around this belief. Okay, if you want to measure it again and your number's gone down, great. Check that. But go ahead and tap again with me, starting on the eyebrow. I'm just convinced I'm never going to be good enough. Side of the eye. That's the hidden block underneath my perfectionism. Under the eye. I'm convinced I'll never be good enough. Under the nose. No wonder I try to make what I produce good enough. Chin point. It's not about the work. Collarbone. I'm convinced I'll never be good enough. Under the arm. No wonder I try to be perfect. Top of the head. Even being perfect won't be enough. Good. Take a breath. If you can measure that, if you got a number ahead of time, great. Try to measure it. That belief, that conviction, I'm never going to be good enough. I'm just not good enough. And I just want you to understand that that's what your perfectionistic behavior is pointing to, something underneath it, the feeling of anxiety and the belief nothing you ever do will be enough. All right, so the behavior is being a perfectionist, and the feelings and the beliefs are what drive it. So now what I'd like you to try to do is think of your next yes, some small behavior you could take, something very small, maybe sending an email without changing it 5 times, maybe sharing an idea with a colleague or a friend and not having to perfect it in your mind before you deliver it, something in your life at work or at home that is small enough so it doesn't trigger too much anxiety. If it triggers too much anxiety, you won't do it, all right? Something that's small enough, but that shows your anxiety is down enough and your belief has been shifted enough so that you could actually do this without going into a panic, without really feeling like, I can't let anything out of my sight without making it perfect. See if you can come up with that. All right, we're going to do one more quick round on the anxiety. Eyebrow. I'm afraid I'll be exposed. Side of the eye. No wonder I try to be perfect. Under the eye. I'm so anxious they'll see me as imperfect. Under the nose. I'm so anxious that I'm not perfect already. Chin point. I'm so afraid I won't be seen as perfect. Collarbone. I'm really afraid that I'm just not good enough. Under the arm. I feel so anxious that what I do is not enough. Top of the head. What if who I am and what I do is enough already? Take a breath. Great. This is a good start to working on your perfectionism and understanding that the real hidden block to success is your feeling of inadequacy, you're not good enough, and you'll never be good enough. So then that translates into perfectionistic behavior. All right, thanks for watching. Again, please feel free to subscribe, like, and share. And for more on my work and my best-selling books and the coaching I do in the world, please go to carollook.com/success.